Welcome to Breakout Racing League. We're here for the 8th round of the championship here for the French Grand Prix. It is the 8th round of many rounds still to come here in Breakout Racing League for Tier 1 Season 7. And we still are just closing down the rounds. We're getting close to our first break of the season, closing to it. But we're here at the French Grand Prix tonight. What will go down, we're about to find out. And it is 18 drivers in for this one. And who knows what could go down here tonight. Anything can go down. It is dry at the moment. So hopefully, I'm praying not for wet, because wet at France is a bit, yeah. But I'm here with the French Grand Prix winner of Tier 3. Very deserving. Katra, welcome.
Yes. I wouldn't say deserving, but we'll move past that one. We're here at Circuit Paul Ricardo. This hosted 22 French Grand Prix over the last 50 years of an existence when it was created in 1969. Well, 15 corners, 6 to the left, 9 to the right, and the 5.842 kilometer, 3.63 mile circuit is going to have a lot of action. It had it in Tier 3, had Tier 4, Realistic F2, and Tier 2. We're ready for Tier 1. Bring it on.
Now, since I only just arrived at my house about 5 minutes ago, I completely forgot about putting the points on the screen, ladies and gentlemen, so I do apologise. But all you need to know really is Bailey's just smoking them at the moment. Is Bailey out on track? Bailey is out on track, thank goodness. Absolutely smoking them with a 45-point lead over Manico at the moment. So, as I say again, there's still a long way to go in the championship. And anything can go down. SupplyRaptor, Moo, Sinav. But the mid-pack is unbelievable. I mean, we've got 4 cars, 3 cars, excuse me, that are on 25 points in the championship. That being Chandler, Louis, who is not here again, and Drunken Shamrock. So it's very close for out in the field at the moment, but we're really not going to know how those play out until later on the season. And then Alfa Romeo in a comfortable position in the Constructors, 91 points over Haas, but it's so close between Haas, Alpine and Ferrari in the Constructors, so there's still a lot to play out for. But at the moment, Bailey is the top of the tree in the championship so far. After what was honestly such a really good performance at the last round of the championship, that being in Canada, again second win of the season, and we'll be trying to grow on those results here tonight. But Bailey's starting on a lap, and many other drivers too.
Yeah, speaking of Bailey, he's actually broken the streak. We've had 6 winners in the last 7 races. Bailey's the only repeat one. He won at Canada a week ago. And speaking of him, I actually got a chance to catch up with him before the Grand Prix itself. And he said his main strategy going in is just to stay penalty free, because if he can do that, he has a really good chance. What he did at Canada, he has a really good chance of kind of picking people off, picking positions up, even if he's not the quickest. Well, one thing he has to notice, though, is his setup is not tailor-suited to him. He used his realistic setup he used for AlphaTauri. He said that's going to make him a little bit off the pace. We'll see how he performs in the Alfa Romeo here tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it all goes down. We've got a few more drivers in here tonight. We've got Hoop back in, well, Hoop was in last week, so never mind what I said. As Verona now goes to the top with 29.737, the first time on the board. A few drivers out there on the mediums at the moment. A couple out there on the hards, we wish, on the mediums as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how things play out, what everyone's strategies are going to be, because France can be a bit of a mixed one, depending on a few things happening in the race. So it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out as Bailey will come to the line, and let's see what Bailey's time on the medium times will be. It's a 30.1, and that's a pretty good start.
Yes, it is. Hoop goes even faster, position of pole 29.1. But speaking of the strategy you talked about, Pirelli has the C4, C3, and the C2 compound attire, which is actually one step lower than it was the last 2 or 3 Grand Prix when we had the softest C5, C4, C3. Now we have one step lower. So the soft this week was the medium last week, and so on. Well, a lot of these drivers on the mediums are using basically what was the hard from a week ago. I actually had a chance to go talk with Axe, and he actually said a lot of things about the strategy. The biggest thing to worry about with the French Grand Prix is going to be the overheating issues with the tires. Some of these guys have to choose the best strategy, and he said himself, the driver that nails this strategy is going to be the one that benefits from this Grand Prix.
Absolutely, as Jared goes to position number 2. Jared in here tonight at full reserve as Aiden now comes around the last corner, and let's see what Aiden can do. Aiden now about to come to the line, and let's see if he can maybe move up to the top. He can, a 29.079 for Aiden in the AlphaTauri. So AlphaTauri on top here at the moment in the early stages here in qualifying. Krispy has invalidated his first timed run, and somebody just crossed the line, moved up, and no, it was no, it was Hoop just on a different lap. Never mind. But Aiden on top with 11 to go here in the session. We've got Neymar out on circuit at the moment, and let me just change this. There we go. On the soft tyres, we've got Bosscookie out there on the soft tyres as well. Bosscookie back in racing, and don't know what was going on behind there, but I think the AlphaTauri just letting the Mercedes go by of Axe, who's out there. No, it's not Axe, it would have been Neymar. Never mind, I'm all over the place here at the moment, but Axe is out on the lap either way.
Yes, one thing I actually do want to point out, by the way, is a lot of these guys have a chance to really, I guess, show their strategy right now. The race itself, I talk about the strategy, well, it's going to happen. The race is going to be overcast but dry for both the qualifying and the race itself. There is a chance of rain, like there always is, but it's not high hopeful. So these guys who have to qualify into the race, the drivers on the top 10 have to start on that tire. So example, right now, from 1st to 6th, I will be on the soft C4 tire. Bailey will be on the C3 medium. Miniko will also be on the C3 medium. But speaking of Miniko, I actually want to quickly catch up with him, like I caught up with him before the Grand Prix itself, as well as with Axe and with Bailey. He said he's full plan right now. Obviously, he's second in the championship now. He wants to fully send it. He has to be wary, though. Like we said with Axe, the strategy is going to be a huge thing, and that's going to play the role in this race. But like we said with Bailey, penalties are going to play a huge role of how this race pulls out as well. He wants to nail everything he can and try to go grab a good finish for that Haas outfit.
That's right. Penalties is going to be a big thing around here. You may not think that, but it is. It's a big thing around here. It's very easy to get a couple of unnecessary warnings. The controversial pit entry that we've seen this week so far, as Axe now goes up into 3rd place, and not a pretty good lap actually, not too far behind Aiden's lap in position number 1. So Miniko's going to see if he can possibly impress. I'm going to say with Miniko here, no, he's a little low on fuel, so I think he'll probably come back in anyway. But Bailey out there on soft tyres, about to start a lap here very soon as well. So a lot of drivers here at the moment out there on their about to really kick up a notch here at the moment here in qualifying, including Krispy, of course, is out there on a set of mediums, and we know Krispy has the pace, just doesn't want to do a Canada while leading. But 9 minutes to go.
Yes, one thing I actually do want to point out that's a little bit of a difference from if you tuned in to the stream about 30 minutes to about an hour ago for the Tier 2 race, and especially Tier 2 qualifying, if you were there before that. A lot of guys during that Tier 2 qualifying session chose the C3 medium compound attire. Well, it seems that's the opposite. Everyone in the top 8 has gone for the softs, which Bosscookie has just proven that point. 29.0 beats Aiden by about 400ths of a second. As someone else actually went up, I believe that was XF1.
Neymar moved up into position number 5. We're on board with it. 29.0 free from Bosscookie at the moment. It goes to position number 1. So Bosscookie showing some early speed here at the moment. But yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised we're not seeing a few drivers out here going for the mediums. Krispy, if he does a stellar lap here, I'm sure we'll start on the mediums. We'll have to wait and see what Krispy's time will be. Sirhan out there at the moment on a set of soft tyres as well. So there's still a few drivers out there to complete a lap, but there's still 8 minutes to go to decide pole position here at the French Grand Prix, which is always a tough one. And the early stages of this race as Krispy has a slight moment, and that might have lost him a little bit of time as he now goes past Neymar, and Krispy going to try and see if he can get a good lap time in here. He may even go for a second lap if he's willing to.
That's one thing to look out for. Is a lot of guys, and actually two to be exact, did about multiple runs on the runs. They did the 3 as Krispy just invalidated going through into turn 13. But you can do multiple runs in your tires, but the problem is, like I said, with strategy, we've gone through Axe, we've gone through Minico, and Bailey. I'll have my physical conversation. Well, let's talk about my own experience. Strategy here, and you can tell because you have the same thing. Tire wear is not easy to come by. It's somewhat there, but it's not as bad as you would think at like maybe. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure. But what I'm saying is basically the tire wear here, if the first stint, like especially the first couple of laps, is going to dictate how the rest of the stint is. The more runs you do on that opening stint, especially the qualifying tire, is the amount of times you have to kind of just take care of your tires a little bit more. So 2-3 laps on 2-3 runs, especially on the soft compounded tire, could be detrimental, hopefully. And right now, no one has actually gotten through with that. Except for Neymar.
Yes, and hello, Corey in the chat. Yeah, I mean, well, our experience yesterday was not so great because it was raining, but Jerry across the line goes P5. But you are correct. Taiwan's it's a mystery around here. I do remember a long time ago when we last did French GP here in Breakout Racing League. Tried to take in medium tyres quite a long time, and it didn't go well. So, yeah, it's Taiwan's a very interesting one around here. As Mumu goes up into position number 3, so it's an AlphaTauri 2-3, and hello to Axe in the chat. But I'm going to try and see. Krispy actually went back into the pit, so Krispy isn't going to try those medium runs. SupplyRaptor is out there on the medium, so could the two Alfa Romeos go on different strategies here tonight? We'll have to wait and see. Driggs is out there on the mediums as well. So a lot happening here at the moment as Aiden improves to a 28.849, goes P1. So Aiden looking the top setter in pace here at the moment here in France.
Yes, that's one thing to look out for with AlphaTauri. He's looking pretty quickly. Aiden, the first one into the 28s, and Mumu is not too far off of Bosscookie in P3, and well, both of them are not too far off of that pole position lap time. In fact, the gap between them is about 2 or 3 tenths of a second, with a lot of guys actually pretty close to the top 8 are all within about 6 tenths of each other, as we have a lot of guys starting flying laps, other guys starting to come into the pits. Minico's on 2 level mediums. Looks like he's still going.
Well, I'm going to do absolutely something crazy here. We're going on an onboard lap with Deer Hunter here for an onboard lap around the French Grand Prix, ladies and gentlemen. Turn 1 and Turn 2, always a tough part of the circuit to get right on the lap number 1 because you're almost guaranteed some of the time there's going to be collisions, there's going to be a car around because everyone's going to try and absolutely hold on to their position, especially coming through here. 4, 5... So that's 5, and now going to turn 6. Mitchie 950 is terrible through this corner, and Deer Hunter did it beautifully, pretty well. Purple sector number 1 for Deer Hunter. We don't know how true that is. We're going to find out very soon. If it is, of course, we know what this game's like with purple sectors. The long straight here to get, this is where your best passing opportunity can be. But if you want to get that perfect run into 9 and then come out of 9 here and get the run on the car into 10 and get that move perfect, you can. But, you know, it could go wrong for you because side by side through here can turn ugly through 10 and then 11. Absolutely on the limit here for Deer Hunter at the moment, trying to get absolutely everything he possibly can through 12. And 12, you can get a bit, or you can lose it in the rear very easily at 12. And now through the last part of the circuit for Deer Hunter, and to the last corner. It's a track that is, oh, and Deer Hunter just holding on to it there as he comes to the line, and he will go to a 29.673 in that lap. So Deer Hunter P10 in this one at the moment, as we got 3 minutes and 39 seconds to go here in the session. And SupplyRaptor now coming around the last corner on the medium tyres. Let's see what he can do.
the medium runners right now, the only one who's actually completed a lap is actually his teammate Bailey, who beats by about 0.2 of a second, by the way, while Deer Hunter was doing that lap. Minico, his teammate, he went up to P9, about a 10th clear of now his teammate Deer Hunter in 10th. And one thing to point out, by the way, like I was talking about a little bit earlier, is actually you went through, is the purple sectors. Well, my first-hand experience here, so we had a little bit of a wet qualifying at the end. We had a driver on intermediates get a purple sector 2, apparently, in a qualifying session that started off as dry. So, well, it shows how well that really shows it's too far now.
And old man Mitchie's going to have an argument here. It's been a problem in this game since 2017, ladies and gentlemen. They still haven't fixed it. It's just great. But it could also be a thing of it could be a thing sometimes. I've noticed it on board with myself. It's your purple sector, but the game just says you're up on your lap instead of going green. It's weird. It happens sometimes. This game's just, yeah. But anyway, enough of me talking about this game. It's time to see what Sinav can do here on the medium tyres. And Sinav, the two Ferrari Sirhan in P14 at the moment. Sinav down 17, but yet to complete a lap. Coming to the end of his lap right now. Where is Axe on circuit? Axe is beginning his lap, so we'll keep an eye on Axe. We'll keep an eye on everybody, because everybody is better to finish off their lap streaks. Starting off his lap as well, but Sinav about to complete his lap. Drunken Shamrock out there on medium tyres as well. SupplyRaptors out there could be going for another lap on mediums too. So 1:45 on the clock. Sinav about to complete his first run here, probably on medium. He goes P13. We'll keep an eye on if he may go again or not, but he's lifted off, so he might be done. But I'm going to find XF1, because XF1 will be one of the next ones to cross the line on a lap.
Yes, one thing to look out for, there's only 3 drivers on the medium compounded tire. Bailey has set his lap on a medium, technically 4, but he's gone out on the soft compounded tire. A lot of these guys, everyone actually except for Shamrock is on a lap. Zinav had just completed his, and SupplyRaptor, who's in the pits, by the way, I think he is not going out. 1 minute and 11 seconds left. He is out of qualifying. Same with Deer Hunter. His max is P11. So we got about a qualifying. Fast D is out of the session as well. Is that on track or is it qualifying in the pit lane? I don't think so. I think it's in the pit lane itself.
As we see Axe now coming to the last few corners now, and let's see what he can possibly do here. Can he try to move his way up through the field? He's P5 at the moment in the Mercedes, and he comes to the line. It's P2 for Axe. F1 goes to second here in France. Bosscookie, one of the next ones to cross the line. He's slightly up on his time in the middle sector. Going to try and see if he can move up here in the Alpine. And around the last corner now for the Alpine driver. And let's see if he can move his way up through the field. 28.8's the time to beat. It's a 28.7. He goes to position number 1 now. XF1's done. Moo Milk has invalidated. Hoops invalidated. Jared's out there at the moment. Where is Aiden? He's coming up to the middle end of the middle sector now. Let's see if he's up. No, he's slightly down on his time. Krispy has just crossed the line in time to go for a lap. So Krispy's got enough to possibly go for one for the well, he does. He's going to go for his final run right now. Aiden in the AlphaTauri. Let's see if he can find some time in this last sector to possibly beat Bosscookie here in qualifying for the French Grand Prix. In the AlphaTauri, last few corners, and let's see what he can possibly do. He's got the Ferrari up ahead of him on Sirhan, but he comes to the line now. Aiden in the AlphaTauri. 28.7 to beat. Does he improve? He does! A 7.09. He goes to position number 1. He topples Bosscookie. Jared now one of the last ones to possibly cross the line here to try to beat that time. But, oh, excuse me, Bailey's coming to the line now. Excuse me, I've missed out on the championship leader, and he goes to position number 4. Wow.
Yep, I was going to say, Bailey is one big shot to look out for. Jared's the line, though, off 15. He's P8 right now, ahead of his teammate by about 0.2 of a second. He's behind and is actually splitting both Red Bulls. He goes up P5.
P5, and I think we're done unless Neymar can do something. Oh, Krispy, excuse me. We've got Krispy as well. He's actually okay. Well, this is... let's see what time this... He's going to literally push Neymar to the line, and oh, that might be a... Well, there you go. Talk amongst yourselves. P9 for Krispy.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
something.
that's yeah. As I said there, talk amongst yourselves. But it is pole position for Aiden in the AlphaTauri. Gets it done over Bosscookie. Championship leader Bailey in position number 4. Maniko in position number 6. And SupplyRaptor all the way down P14. But, oh man.
That was an interesting qualifying.
Katra is speechless, everybody.
Yeah.
But Aiden on top, Bosscookie position number 2, Axe P3, Bailey P4, Jared P5. It's going to be interesting start, no doubt.
35 milliseconds. That's a good gap. But look at the gap between Act and Bailey, 8 milliseconds. That's a good gap. But look at the gap between Jared, Miniko, and Mumu. That's a good gap there. Look at the gap between Krispy and Hoop, 0.03 of a second. Well, once again, with the lap from Krispy, we have to figure out if Neymar was on another flyer lap or if he was on an in lap. We'll have to figure that one out.
No doubt. And folks, stay with us. We'll be back to go racing here at the French Grand Prix. Did you know Breakout Racing League has brand new merch, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, we got the tees, we got the hoodies, we got the phone cases, we got that sexy mug there. Oh, that mug looks very good. We got the leggings, we got absolutely everything your heart desires for Breakout Racing League's new merch. And don't forget, if you want to purchase Breakout Racing League merch, Fan 10 to get 10% off your purchase as we now head to the track. Right, it is a overcasty, that's not really a word, but an overcasty track, cloudy here at the Circuit Paul Ricardo. It is a bit of a cloudy day here at the moment, but no threat to rain, but you never know, it could spring a surprise at us. There's the outside of the top 10, mostly mediums, except for Fast AD going on the hards. And we've been talking about the hards a little bit this week at France, but I still feel like softs and mediums are the way to go at this track. But if you can make the hards work, you can be in a good position in this race, no doubt about it.
Yeah, that's going to be one big thing to worry about, but I don't know if the reverse hard strategy is going to be too effective. We saw a lot of drivers go on the hard compounded tire in Tier 2, which is something I was kind of shocked about because we didn't see anyone happen to go on that C2 tire in Tier 3. Not many unrealistic at all, and obviously F2 doesn't have the C2 tire. It has, like, what, 3 tires and 2 of them only available. Tier 4 was a mixed bag, but then again, it was only the only other comparable race other than Tier 2 because it had, then again, Tier 4 had a lot of safety cars, so Tier 2 would probably be the most comparable race. It worked out pretty well, so we'll see how it works, but I don't know how the reverse strategy goes. The safety car could be a big, big factor, because what happens if, actually, we have Neymar is completely cutting the first segment there. He's using the escape road, as you see through there. But, like I was saying, this the safety car could possibly be a factor, because, I mean, these guys on the mediums, if it happens early on, it's kind of a tough choice. If it happens for Fast AD, what is he going to do? Because he has to stay on those hards if he wants the chance to, have a long one-sided race, which it could work. The soft to medium could work. It's difficult. The medium hard, it's been most preferred from guys in Tier 3 or Tier 2 especially. But the hard reverse strategy, it's going to be a complete mystery so far for Fast AD.
Well, Echo in the chat, I don't know if that will be the case, but you never know with this game. Predictions, everyone in the chat as well. I am going to go for a wild one here, and I'm going to go DRC Jared for the race win here in France. Catra, what are you thinking?
Well, if I want to go to statistics, and I know nobody really asked, but I'm going to do it anyway.
I did.
The average race position so far, the most competitive drivers, there you go. The average race position is the driver starting in 4th, Bailey 3.6. So if I had to go statistically with some driver to win this Grand Prix, I would probably go with Bailey. He's won 2, only repeat winner so far this season.
I would do those types of scissors, chat, but I'm terrible and I forget to do them. So, yeah. As we got Aiden, Bosscookie, we got Axe, we got Bailey, and we got Jared, our top 5 here in France. Fast AD on the hard tyres. It is a gloomy day here in Paul Ricardo. What's going to go down here in France as we are waiting for the Williams to line up very slowly. Oh my god, it's lined up very slowly. We're about to get underway. 27 laps here at the French Grand Prix. It's Aiden versus Bosscookie. We're racing. And it's a very good start for the AlphaTauri. He gets the jump. Bosscookie did not get a great start at all, but he might be able to hold on to P2. Bailey got a great start. He's going to try to move his way up into position number 3. Axe goes back into position number 4. Jared, P5. There's a Red Bull around. It's Hoop around. I said it before in qualifying that on-ball lap. You can expect carnage at those corners, and you have. Hoop's around. I don't know if he's got damage or not, but Aiden, your race leader from Bosscookie, Bailey, Axe and Jared, and meanwhile in the mid-pack, it's all happening between the medium runners.
Well, not only Hoop had a horrible start, Ferrari not jumped the start. So Red Bull has had an atrocious first sector. Not even the first lap, but we have drivers all fighting for it. We have Shamrock on Fast AD, battle for 15th. He's gotten through the Aston Martin driver. A couple drivers pulling off. Neymar looking for a move. He's already gotten past SupplyRaptor. SupplyRaptor goes around the outside at turn 8 and the inside of turn 9. That was an audacious move. Almost contact. There was contact there far. And the the AlphaTauri. I get it one of these times. The Alfa Romeo got the move, but unfortunately lost out. Moo and Krispy. Krispy goes up to P6. He gets past the AlphaTauri. Minico looking for the move into 11. And what has happened to Neymar?
Well, Neymar, okay, we'll focus on Minico there, but Neymar, I think, is just spun. And he is down the field at the moment, him and Hoop. Right down the field like they were last week in Canada. SupplyRaptor and Deer Hunter going side by side. This is for position number 10 in this race. It got a little bit close there, but I don't think there's been a touch as of yet. And SupplyRaptor holds on at the moment as Ferrari Nut comes into lane. Obviously, for that jump start as we go back up to the front. Excuse the scrolling. It's Bosscookie and Aiden. And Bosscookie's just got inside of him and taken the lead. All right.
Well, the DRS has not been enabled yet, but I know Aiden's probably going to take advantage of that once it does. But don't look now. Bailey's only 7/10 off. He can take advantage of it well. There's going to be a DRS train at the moment from first all the way down to actually P15 will be in one DRS train. Once it's activated, it's not activated this lap. It's activated next lap. The drag reduction system, whenever the car in front is within a second. Well, everyone's basically within a second of the car in front, so it's going to be the entire grid almost with that DRS train. Aiden now has to chase down Bosscookie to regain that first position.
And yes, Zach, indeed. I'm still confused. I do not know what happened there at all. But Aiden's going to try to find him back here for the position. Aiden, as someone, so it's Hoop again. Well, it's just going bad to worse for Hoop here at the moment. As we now see Driggs and SupplyRaptor. SupplyRaptor now goes up into position number 9. SupplyRaptor once again, just one of the best achievers here in Tier 1 when he gets the best luck. Well, not really luck, it's when he gets in the right position, gets the good results. And we've seen that so far this season. That's why Alfa Romeo are in such a good position in this championship, because of Bailey and SupplyRaptor getting those points when it's needed. Aiden is trying to close right down here on Bosscookie for position number 1. As you said, Bailey right there, and Axe in a good position as well. Same with Jared. So big battles going on here at the moment here in Tier 1 as we're lap 3. DRS is here.
Yes, it's here indeed, and Aiden is almost knocking at the door of Bosscookie even without DRS. Through the first sector, Cookie goes a little bit wide into 6. And that is a warning. That's going to be, they only get 3 of those. Cookie, he goes to the left-hand side of the track, trying to break the slipstream. Break the slipstream. Here comes Aiden. It's not going to really matter. He's going to go look to the right-hand side of the Alpine. Is he going to go around the outside of 8? Bosscookie later on the brakes, a little bit of contact, and looks like Aiden stays there. But one thing to note, up 5 positions, Raptor.
Yeah, Raptor doing superbly. I said it before, Raptor's just booming at the moment. As now Jared looks for the move here on Axe F1. Moves up into position number 4, so Jared now up into 4th place here in this Grand Prix. And Yeah, I just noticed that was a warning because, you know, folks who've done that corner before, you just, even if you take one wheel off, this game gives you a warning at that part of the circuit.
Yep.
So, yeah, just, that's why I knew it was a warning immediately. But, top five all near each other here at the moment. It's close battles behind as well. Maneko's all the way down in position number 9. SupplyRaptor ahead of him. So it's very close between the field here at the moment. DRS trains beginning because it's tier 1 and we love it. But it's very close here at the moment though. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. Aiden has slight moment out turn 2. Bailey trying to gain, but Aiden's going to have that DRS and try to get past Bosscookie if he possibly can.
Well, one thing to point out, since I have the luxury of, this is why I love being a co-com for this race. Look at the warnings. We have Krispy already has 2 warnings to his name. Sirhan has 2. Moo has 2. Cookie has 1.
God.
He did grab a warning. Hoop has 1. Aiden has 1. He did grab it from turn 2. Neymar has 1. And, well, it's a lot more to come. Look at this, Aiden!
Oh, and Aiden's
oh,
around.
no.
Aiden's around. It was ambitious. It was a risk. It was a risk. And it did not pay off. The reward didn't pay off for him. As now these two go side by side, Bailey and DRC. Jared tries to hold it here, and Jared goes through. Bailey doesn't really need to fight. As now Axe looks for the move on Bailey as well. I'll end that statement just a second. Well, I'll end it right now because Bailey doesn't really need to fight Jared at the moment, even though Bailey wants as many points as possible. But of course, Jared is a reserve, so Jared's not really a big part of the championship fight for Bailey at the moment. As now Axe is trying to see if he can get past Bailey, but just can't get it done. And I think Aiden's gone around again. Aiden has. It's just gone from bad to worse for the AlphaTauri driver after being pole position, and it's just gone terribly for him.
Yes, it has. And this is now the second race in a row that the pole sitter, it happened in Tier 2. It's now happening here in Tier 1. It's the second race where the pole sitter is not even in the top 10 after the first 5 laps. It happened with Wraith in Tier 2. Jared now had a big moment at the exit of turn 5, but he's now going to be the one to try and bring the onslaught to Bosscookie up front. And this this is not the first time Cookie's had to deal with everyone in the DRS train behind him. China, does that ring a bell? But here comes Jared, though. He's going to go to the left-hand side on Cookie, and he's going to go down the inside of turn 8. Will it be a lot comfortable compared to what happened with Aiden? Yes, it will. And Jared now takes the top spot. Looks like he's on a move.
Yeah, Jared now goes to the position number 1 here in the French Grand Prix. And he'll try to see if he can pull away here from Bosscookie. And all Cookie has to do is just try to stick with him and then get the DRS back on him. That's all he needs to do. But Bailey will be all over him. As their SupplyRaptor's now up to another position from Moo for position number 6. So SupplyRaptor once again, and he's in this train of cars of leaders. SupplyRaptor's one to watch towards the end of this race. Axe is there, Bailey's there, but Jared's now starting to pull away, and what but these guys behind Bosscookie does not want is for Jared to pull away to a second, and then it's just a long DRS train for P2. That's not what they want, so they're hoping that Bosscookie gets a wriggle on here and gets close again to Jared.
You said you watch out for SupplyRaptor in the long stint and towards the end of the race. I would say watch out for him now. It's been 5 laps. The softs are not even that degraded yet. It's still towards, it's going to be towards the, I guess, towards the favor of the soft runners so far. It may change the next couple of laps. He's gone up a huge amount of positions from the start. He's up 8 positions as Neymar gets past Fast AD, by the way, battle for 14. But Raptor is looking a lot quicker than a lot of these guys in this train, and he's in the same DRS train.
Yeah, Raptor trying to see what he can do. This is a long DRS train. It's pretty much all the way down to center, or probably D Hunter, as Dreek's in a not bad position as well. Keep an eye on Dreeks, but here comes SupplyRaptor, closing in on Krispy here for position number 5. He's going to look for it here at the moment. As he looks for it, SupplyRaptor looking for the move for position number 5, and he gets it done on Krispy. Now up into the top 5 in this Grand Prix.
That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking this guy is the one to watch out for right now. He did it a lap ago with Moo down the inside of turn 11. He's favoring not the DRS part of the track. By the way, yellow flag looks like hoop again. But he's not favoring the DRS parts of the track. He's favoring where it is not, especially the run from turn 9 to turn 10. And Cookie's going to pit and along with Jared.
Axe tried to go for it there on Bailey. It was very close between the two there. Oh my goodness me. That was a big move that could have been done as Jared and Bosscookie. Let's see what they do. It's hards for Jared. It's hards for Cookie. So they could be proving me wrong with the hards. Me saying the hards is not going to be much. But that's why I'm a commentator, ladies and gentlemen. Rick will agree in the chat. Hello, Rick James. Yes, I am with Catra, co-commentator. I paid a lot of money because, you know me, Rick, I'm not that great. As we see the top 3. It's an Alpha 1-2. Oh, my goodness me.
Yes. He made a move on Axe into turn 1, and it was a move it was. It was quite precision right there, but now it's gone from, well, a chance of an Alfa Romeo podium, at least one of them. Now it's a 1-2, but look at Raptor. He's lifting off to make sure he doesn't overtake his teammate. It's looking pretty proud. These two, this is why these two are the Constructors' Championship leaders right now, because of this reason right now.
Yeah, it's definitely is, and they're just showing their superb performance here at the moment. Especially SupplyRaptor, my goodness me. He'll want to get past Bailey here as quickly as possible here at the moment. As Rick James in the chat, absolute legend. Rick James, TV1, shout out to him. And just a plug, on Monday night, me and Rick James commentating on some matches at a track. I forget which one as well. But Rick James, TV1, shout out to him. As Bailey's in.
So it's Krispy.
Yes.
That may draw a lot of guys in. Minico's in as well. Through the field. Anyone else? Any takers?
Line rock. Thank you, Rick. So it's everyone's just proving me why I'm a commentator, not a league racer anymore, because the hards are definitely the way to go here at the moment. Again, this is why I brought Catcher in, ladies and gentlemen. As Minico, hard tires in as well. So a lot of these guys going on the hards to the end in this race. And SupplyRaptor out in front in a great position at the moment. As where is our front runners? Jared, Cookie's under a second of Jared still at the moment. That's what Cookie needs to be. Bailey's a little bit further back, and so is Krispy. So it's Aiden now does the fast lap of the race, but Aiden is quite a bit margin as well as Krispy gets a time penalty.
And Deer Hunter's down the inside, and Drix is going to go for the move. Keep it there. He's going to stay there. Switch back for Deer Hunter on the outside of now turn 9. He's going to squeeze into the right-hand side of the track. Don't look now. Zenab gets a perfect chance to look at this battle. They're going to go side by side on 10. Anyone going to back out? Yes, Deer Hunter's not going to be close enough to keep it there. But one thing to look out for, the undercut. That's why Cookie was significantly, I guess, behind Jared. But don't look now. These two are still fighting for it. But don't look now. Here comes Zenab. I've said don't look now about 6 times. Well, I mean, you can't stop watching, can you?
As we're seeing Drunken Shamrock in this as well. So, Drunken Shamrock on the medium tires. These are all medium runners, by the way, everybody. All these guys are going to go for quite a bit, depending what they're going to do. Moomoo's in. Axe is going long. So, let's see what Axe's strategy is going to be. What he's going to do, if he's going to go the hard tires, or he's going to try to do something crazy and go the soft and the medium. But Deer Hunter with Driggs, this is going to go down wild here in a minute between these 4 drivers, 5 drivers, because Sirhan's now in this as well. So it's all happening here at the moment as Jared has got Hoop behind him. Hoop's just letting them through, and Bosscookie there as well. So a lot going down between those guys that have pitted so far. We'll keep an eye on them towards the end of this one and see where they will place with all these drivers, because it's a long trove of medium runners here at the moment, and it could go down here in the next part of the track, or they're going to play nicely. We'll have to wait and see. Deer Hunter sitting right behind Driggs, but it looks like it's going to be steady for now.
Yeah, one thing to point out, by the way, Axe, you said you don't know what he could do, trying to go maybe that softer run, and Bailey gets past Hoop battle for 12th, by the way, but I know exactly what Axe is doing, because he's the one that told me this strategy. He's going to go long. He knows exactly where to push these soft compounded tires to make a one-stop from soft to medium work. It's difficult, it's risky, but he can do it. He's done it before, and he'll do it again. I think that's what he's going for.
And that's why I'm kind of surprised a lot of these guys have gone straight to the hards, because you can do it. You just got to be very good with your tyres. As now Axe is in, and I'd love to see Axe go on the hards.
Yes.
That'd be hilarious.
Yes.
No, he's on the medium. There we go.
That's right.
But he goes on the medium tyres. But we'll see how it plays out towards the end of this one as we watch this long battle between these medium runners, Deer Hunter and Driggs as well. What's going on here at the moment? Jared is pulling that margin now between him and Cookie, and that's going to be important for Jared's race, for him to be in a comfortable position to win this one, to get over that DRS range between him and Bosscookie and just control the race lead at the moment. It's lap 10, no DNF so far, but there's a lot of trains going on, especially these medium runners. As our Deer Hunter looks, oh my goodness me, goes for the late move, and that is pretty much exactly what happened between Aiden and Bosscookie, I'm pretty sure. Wow.
Oh, that was exactly what happened. To a T. But here comes Shamrock. How he's almost pushing the Ferrari. The Ferrari's going for a move on Driggs around the outside of turn 10. Oh, look at this. Drunken Shamrock's going around the outside of turn 10.
That's a beautiful.
It's amazing.
If he gets this done, that's a beautiful move from Drunken Shamrock. Driggs tries to hold on, but he's not. And Drunken Shamrock, I'm on board with Driggs, and tell you what, close. But Shamrock, beautiful move by Shamrock to get that done through the middle pretty much, and goes through and up in a position number 3, but yet to pit in this race. But Driggs will try to fight back, and Sirhan behind. SupplyRaptor, the race leader. So we'll be interested to see what SupplyRaptor does towards the end of this one. At the moment, lap 11 of 27 in this Grand Prix. We'll go down the field here between the guys who've pitted already. Jared is... It's 0.6 between him and Bosscookie. We've got Krispy, who has passed Bailey, by the way. But Krispy, don't forget, has a time penalty in this race, which could, play out towards the end of this one. Which, of course, we're still not even halfway through this one as of yet. Oh!
Well, now Cookie has one. Both Alpines have a time penalty, which is going to help Jared and Bailey, but most importantly, Axe. He can try to get as close as he can, because Moo is actually on the mediums as well. So he's going to try to go to the end of Grand Prix with Axe. Ahead of him in the Mercedes, well, right now, he needs to get past Bailey, which is going to be difficult in itself. Krispy, which is going to be even more difficult. Both these guys have been extremely quick over the last 2 races, and so far this race. And then catch up to Bookie, who's on the inside, by the way, of Jared around the outside of turn 9. Jared has gone and had defense. That's a beautiful defense. I was going to say Bosscookie, but, well, I saw him down the inside. I had to kind of shorten it a little bit. Bookie's what I got. Well, that's not going to be close enough. Trix is past Zinaf. Battle for P3, though. Almost contact between the McLaren and the Ferrari.
Watching between Jared and Cookie as well. Going to keep an eye on this. Yeah, I was focused on... apologies for missing that with Cookie and Jared. I was focused on what was going on between Shamrock, Driggs, Sinav, because there was some news that happened. And then Jared and Cookie, as now Driggs has come into the lane, most likely for the hard tyres, as we keep an eye on Cookie, who's just losing a bit in this last sector with him and Jared at the moment. As Axe now is right on the back of Bailey now in this race, as Driggs now, as I have confirmed, on the hard tyres. Moo now fastest lap of the race. Moo on those medium tyres as well. So those medium runners getting those fastest laps here at the moment. And Axe is going to be absolutely hounding down here at the moment. But Cookie's going to be on Jared here as well. Cookie's going to be absolutely trying to fight for this move here on Jared if he can get the good run here out of this corner.
Yeah, it's going to be crucial to get this good run here, but I don't know if Cookie really wants to get going now because, well, I mean, he's a sitting duck right now. He's going to get a move on.
And Jared's got a bit more battery under him at the moment compared to Cookie, 16 compared to 51. So that's going to be helpful for Jared in this one. At the moment, Hoopalicious gets another time penalty. As now we see Jared is going to try. Now he's not got enough here at the moment, but he's going to be all over him. Jared's going to try and see what he can do, or he'll wait till another DRS opportunity to go for the move back on him. Axe didn't have enough to go for it on Bailey at the moment, but to be honest, Axe could honestly just sit behind these guys, but we'll have to wait and see what he does. Drunken Shamrock is in the lane. So Shamrock now comes in, most likely will be for the hard tyres as well. If any of these guys are going to go for the softs, these top 4, it's going to be, when do you think would be if they did go the medium soft?
The earliest I have seen is lap 16.
Okay. So we'll keep an eye on that and see what they could pop. What will they do in this one at the moment? Does Jared fight back here on Bosscookie? Let's see what goes down. Drunken Shamrock on the hard tyres, as we said. And we've got Bailey, Axe, Krispy. A long battle for what will be for the lead.
Yep, Mumu has a 3-second time penalty, which now racks up a lot of people who around are Axe and Bailey and these guys, especially Jared, with time penalties. Cookie goes all the way to the left-hand side. Neymar gets past Fast AD ahead of them, by the way, trying to break that slipstream. That's not going to do anything because Jared doesn't really follow him. He's just like, you can do that. That doesn't going to affect me at all. I still have the DRS. I'm still behind you. But he's going to stay there and not go for that move now. May just possibly use Cookie to just kind of save his ERS, save his tires a little bit, and just get a free, slipstream. And the DRS train... I'll see how that goes.
I'll tell you this right now. I think you look at the battery, 8% Cookie, 54 Jared. So that's exactly what Jared's doing. That's exactly what Jared's doing. And that's kind of what Krispy needs to do because he's on 24. Bailey on 65 and Axe on 84. So I think we know what Axe is going for here at the moment. He's going to sit behind and maybe conserve for a little bit and then at the right moment go for an attack when he can do it. But remember as well, time penalties could become a factor in this race. So if this becomes a long train and cars ahead of him get penalties, all Axe needs to do is just stay in that train and not get a penalty. That's the thing about these DRS trains, folks. It's just, if you can just stay in line, don't get a penalty, you're looking good. And that's what Axe could be looking for here towards the end of this race. Sinaf came in lane as well and is on the hard tyres.
One thing to point out, by the way, is Axe's situation is difficult because in reality, you would think, okay, he's on the mediums. He needs to get a move on now, but he also needs to conserve because these tires are not guaranteed to get to the end of the Grand Prix. It's difficult. That's the same thing with the hards. They're not guaranteed either. It's kind of the same boat for all these drivers, but Axe, more so than others, because that's the C3 now, is not as prominent. But one thing to also point out is Mumu behind him is a lap older tire than Axe, but he's set fastest lap after fastest lap after fastest lap. That's one thing to note, because Mumu needs to get those tires into the Grand Prix. He's not conserving now. Axe is. We'll see how that plays out.
Well, and also, you're not going to... In this long train, there's now... Krispy tries to get for moving on Jared. Jared's definitely concerned because he had a massive opportunity on Cookie, even with not even using battery. And, yeah, you're not going to gain much with that. Oh, and Bailey looked for it on Krispy, loses position. Axe is going to try for it here on Krispy, and there's a little bit of contact here. Again, as now Bailey and Mumu go for it here for position. Again, in this DRS train, when there's a little bit of a hiccup somewhere, it can break things up so easily. And Bailey could lose this, but Mumu, is he going to try and round the outside? He is! And they're side by side, and Mumu goes up in position number 8. Bailey loses another position, so Bailey not good for him at the moment. He tried to go for a Krispy. There may have been a little bit of contact and just lost positions, but that has moved up Axe into a possible second place in this race on penalties. We'll have to wait and see. It's getting interesting now, but Axe could look for it here on Krispy. Maybe he's got the run. Krispy's not close enough to Jared, so this is giving Axe the opportunity to go up another position. Side by side, these two will go, and he gets it done. Axe now in a possible P2 in this race, and what's happened behind?
Bailey went for a move, kind of kept his nose there, and almost lost the position, half spun. Now he had a 3-second time penalty because he had to go off track. Well, this whole DRS train breakup started, we're about to go back here again a lap ago, around turn 13. That happened because Krispy went on the curb trying to look for any possible chance because there was a little bit of a checkup between Axe and Jared and Cookie. Well, Bailey went for the move, made contact, almost lost the car there, may have actually had some damage, and that's what all broke this up because you said as soon as that DRS train gets broken up, everything happens quickly, and you can say from Bailey's point of view, it definitely has.
Raptors in and on the hard tyres. And
Shamrock's off, by the way.
Shamrock has gone off, And hard tires go on for Raptor. You could have got one more lap, SupplyRaptor. Come on. You had a great margin, son. Unless he was on like 85% tyres, then I'd understand. But Deer Hunter's absolutely going to be going to the softs, but he's the margin between him and Cookie's 5 seconds. But oh boy, it's getting interesting. As Hoop gets the fastest lap of the race, showing the speed that he has got, but he just doesn't have the consistency at the moment here this season. Axe, what is he going to do here about Jared? Does he go for it? Jared's not, well, Jared is using the ERS now because he now knows that Axe is hungry here for positions. Axe is, hold on, hold the phone, Freddie. Forbes Hackett. Axe has got a penalty. When did that happen?
I have no idea where that came from.
And I did not swear there. Don't mind me. I was trying to say an Australian term there. Don't mind me. Katrin got very nervous there, probably. Jared now is position number 4. And Axe now, well, I tell you what, Jared is now in a beautiful position in this race when everyone around him has a penalty.
Yeah, well, honestly, my best guess is when all that shenanigans happened with Bailey, with Krispy, and all that happening. But by the way, with these guys now in this train from Neymar, look at Cookie. He was extremely slow exiting 15 because Neymar in front of him was a little bit off the pace with that 10 lap, the 16 level mediums. Cookie's going to go for the move down the inside of one. I'm not really sure if he wants to do that. Neymar's going to stay there. Neymar's going to still be there. Running wide is going to be Cookie. Jared gets through. Axe gets through.
No way.
Contact. There is contact. Axe goes for the move.
Oh, no! I just squealed so loud, I apologise. That was ugly. Mark Webber, anybody? As now, oh my God, you have to look back on the replay stuff for the race on that one because that was unbelievable. As now, Krispy and Moo go side by side here in this one, and Moo now, tries to go for it here at the moment. And I'm just laughing at my squeal back, excuse me. As now Bailey now tries to see if he can get up there in this fight. But Jared's still in this, by the way, unless he's got damage. Meanwhile, Axe!
Axe and Cookie. Yes, he went around the outside of turn 10 into 11. And Axe got the position, so now he has what he needs. He needs to break away, especially from Jared, and get out of this DRS train as quick as possible, because those mediums eventually will start evening out with those hards, and he can't do anything. He needs to get away now.
Oh my God, we're having fun here, ladies and gentlemen. Deer Hunter is finally in as... I'm sorry, Catcher. I'm trying to recuperate after that. Neymar into the lane, and wow, that was unbelievable. And Raptor's now closing in on this fight as well. Raptor could get on the podium after all this if things get even more crazier. My God. But Axe, as you said, needs to pull away here at the moment, and he is. And if he could do that, that's going to be so crucial to his race. The margin between him and Jared is 2.9. So it's so close here at the moment in this one.
Yeah, that's one thing we need to look out for. But Raptor, you said he may be on for a podium. Oh, it's 100% happening. But here comes Krispy on his teammate, Cookie. Both Alpine scrapping at it down the inside of 8. And Krispy will get ahead of Bosscookie now. Both those drivers switching positions in the Alpine camp.
Wow, as now... Cookie now may just have to sit behind his teammate, but Moo now is closing in on this fight as well. Moo out of nowhere coming in this fight. Bailey's still sitting there as well. And Jared is just in that DRS at the moment. SupplyRaptor's lost the DRS between him and Jared, but he needs to try to stay in it to possibly have a chance at a podium later in this race. 10 to go here in this one for the French Grand Prix. There's been chaos, there's been absolute craziness so far, and it's not over yet. It's going to depend on how Axe's tyre is going to be towards the end of this race, but he had a good conserve at that early part of his stint. Could that help him out towards the end? We'll have to wait and see. But a big old fight happening here between Bailey, Moo, Bosscookie as well. It's all happening as Krispy gets another penalty.
Yeah, that's going to be extremely detrimental, and I think probably the end of his race unless something else goes on. But by the way, to point out, Raptor is only 4/10 adrift of Axe's penalty window, 3.4 seconds. There's a chance Raptor could not only be on the podium, he could be on for a win here.
He could be very well on for a win. 2.9. It's going to be interesting to see how things go here at the moment. It's meanwhile behind Sinaf and Drake's battling out here for position number 9. Lots going down throughout the field, but especially for the leaders. Krispy now has closed that margin down between him and Axe, just to make things even more interesting in this Grand Prix. SupplyRaptor, again, has gotten that margin down between him and Jared. That's crucial for his possible chance at a podium in this Grand Prix, especially with those penalties up ahead. Bailey up there with Mumu as well. You don't know where to look at the moment between this top 7 because anything can happen. If Maneko can try to get some lap times in, he can maybe get up into that fight, but he's 3.2 seconds down. He needs to find some speed as we look up to the front with Axe on those mediums.
One thing to point out, Axe has one extra warning, so he has 2 more before his second penalty, but that's the same thing with Jared and Raptor. They both have 1 warning, 2 more until their first.
And that's why...
It's get spicy.
And that's why you're not going to see Jared pushy, I don't think. You're not going to see... Jared's just going to sit behind this train. He knows he can win it because he'll know that everyone ahead of him's got penalties. As Deer Hunter gets the fastest lap of the race on soft tyres, that's what Jared's going to do. What Raptor will want to do is try to challenge him if he can, and then possibly get Jared to a penalty. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see.
Well, here's the problem. Here's the problem with what
Bailey.
You just said. Because Raptor just picked up a warning.
Bailey looks for it. Bailey looks for the move here. On movement, this could break up the train again as Bailey goes to off. Jared's come through to P5. And Jared's going to try to look for it here on Mumu for position. Looks for it. He needs to do it because if those guys ahead of him get away, he will will not get the chance for the win. As Bailey now looks for a Mumu as well. Can Bailey get this done? Give me a better camera angle game. As now these two go side by side. Someone's around. It's Hoop. As now SupplyRaptor there as well. And the 2 Alpha Romeos, P6 and P7. Bailey now looks to send it here on Mumu. And if he can get that done, it'd be unbelievable. There's contact. Mumu's around.
Just like his teammate, Aiden happened in the first half of the race. Mumu had a similar fate. Raptor, he lost touch of that DRS train and picked himself up a warning on the prior lap, like I stated. So now Raptor needs to push to get back in the train. Yeah. It only has 1 warning of buffer until he gets a penalty. Jared, he's looking at a really good picture here. 1.6 seconds, off the leader. Mumu grabs a penalty. And Raptor grabs a penalty.
Oh my god. Well, you said it. There we go. And that just gives Jared even a better way to win this race, unless he gets a warning. And I'll tell you this right now, I know, knowing Jared, if he gets a warning, boy oh boy, he will not be happy at all. As we see, Hoop gets another time penalty, but he's way back. No, Jared! We're on board. He was so close to getting a warning there, Jared.
No, he got a warning.
He got. Okay,
He got a warning and saved the car. He's gonna be now. He's the same fate as Raptor was a couple seconds ago. He has 1 more.
Hello, mate. Well, Fed-up, hope you are enjoying the show because this is an unbelievable French Grand Prix at the moment with everything going down here in this one right now. Lap 21 or 27 here at the moment. And no DNF so far. And Hoop and Neymar, there you go. Here's some time, a little bit of time for you. They go side by side. Neymar and Hoop. There's contact between the two. SupplyRaptors through on Bailey. And Hoop and Neymar, there's your track time for this week.
Bailey let him through.
Oh, Bailey let him through.
I believe Bailey just let SupplyRaptor through. So I'm thinking a little bit of Alfa Romeo team orders here. If I can't catch him, see if you can. Raptor's the 5th. Oh, Raptor almost spun.
Drake said, no, only getting time penalty back in positions back there. P10 and P11, they're battling out for the final paying position here in this Grand Prix, lap 22 or 27. No one has DNF'd here in T1 so far in this one. So, unless I'm about to curse that, you never know, as Krispy's just trying to see if he can close up here on Axe if he possibly can and go for the move. So it's steady at the moment between this pack, but you feel like there could be something that can go down here at any moment. As Jared's closing right up here on Bosscookie once again. These two. Oh, Jared's got a penalty! Oh, no! And that Jared has a time penalty. It's unbelievable what's happened in this race. As now Axe now is in the position to win. Wow. Oh, and he's around! No. Oh, that's big contact! Big Raptor, there's contact, and it's chaos here in France. An absolute carnage. Raptor's now going to go for the move. I'm pretty sure it was Raptor that made contact with him after Jared went around. And oh my goodness me, Raptor looks for it around the outside. He goes off. Oh my god, you don't know where to look. It's absolutely unbelievable. And Axe, as I said before, you don't know where to look.
No, you really don't. But now, with about 5 laps to go, Axe is in the catbird seat. There's literally nothing that could happen that would not be in his favor if he just keeps it as he's going right now. 0.4 of a second. You could see Krispy going through, and he's going to go through. Look at that overspeed he's going to have. But he has 6 seconds of time penalties compared to Axe's 3. He needs to stay with Krispy, like Krispy did to him. Yellow flag, sector 1. Looks like Hoop and Neymar had a collision at turn 2. But if Axe stays with him, Raptor's down a position. I think he has front wing damage. Jared's actually red Axe, by the way. I don't think he's in the session anymore. But yeah. I don't blame him. It's gone from bad to worse. It was a chance where he had that move done. There he goes. That's confirmation of it. He went for that move. He didn't have to go for the move, but he was aggressive. He wanted to go for it. That warning could have been removed. The next corner, he got another warning, so that penalty would not have been removed at all. And then 2 corners later, he spun around with heavy contact with SupplyRaptor, which, by the way, is probably going to see him into the pit lane.
Wow. As we come to the final lap of a possible safety car here in this race, lap 24 of 27. Axe now trying to see if he can go for it here on Krispy again. Is he going to fight it? I don't think he will, as Bailey's through onto Cookie. So Bailey once again could out of nowhere get on the podium. It's unbelievable, as Raptor's gone through of the ghoster car of Jared, and Maniko they're down in position number 8 in this race. It is absolutely unbelievable here in France. As, wow, that's all you can say. Meanwhile, Ferrari Nut, who's all the way down last, it's been a bad day for Red Bull, is all you can say. Been a very bad day for them. As Maniko now up in position number 7, he could try to go for the move here on SupplyRaptor, who defends. Actually, SupplyRaptor's just letting him through. SupplyRaptor must have a little bit of damage, and he's just being nice to let Maniko through. So Maniko, if he could try to move his way a little bit further up, he could get into the top 5 of Mumu, who's of course while he is, because Mumu has 6 seconds worth of penalties.
Well, I love how you said about a lap ago, if we have no retirements unless something happens. Luckily for Jared, he didn't retire, but he's already left the session, so it might as well be as good as a retirement, because he's not completed 90% of the Grand Prix, and I don't think he's going to join back. If he does, well, he would have to join back now to complete that 90%. So he won't be classified as it stands right now. So congratulations. That's the commentator's jinx.
I don't think he'll mind either way, since Jared is a reserve, and I agree with Jared in the chat. Meanwhile, while his ghosted car's coming into the pit lane. Well, there you go. Final 3 laps here in France. Krispy is still your race leader, but Axe is in a great position to win this one. He just needs to bring it home. He just needs to make sure he doesn't get a few more penalties. And well, Jared's disconnected. Oh, well, there you go. Well, there you go. Lovely stuff, as Jared said. Well, there you go. That's great game. As Axe now looks for the move back here on Krispy, gets it done, and Bailey's in this coming into this fight as well. So hold the phone, Freddie. It could get interesting here at the moment, as Axel's gone back into position number 1. I will not repeat what I said earlier because I almost swore. But Bailey could be in this could be in this to still fight for the win. You never know. If Bailey can try to get closer back up to this top 2, it could still be on for the win. And, yeah, okay, Jared said game did freeze, and we did, I do believe that, because we did see Jared Red X, and it took its time, a long time, to say Jared left the session. So there we go. Jared confirming it for us.
Here's an issue that you just said a second ago.
Yes.
Bailey, if you said if Bailey gets close enough, I just checked the race director.
Oh, no.
Axe is one penalty or one warning away from a penalty. So Bailey doesn't even have to get close enough. If Axe grabs a penalty in the next 2 laps
Axe is pulling
and
away.
Bailey doesn't, Bailey wins.
My God, Axe is out to 0.9, but Krispy will get away. If Bailey can get close enough to go for this move, Bailey could get up in the P2 and then try to fight as much as he can on this final lap. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's been an unbelievable Grand Prix. There's been absolutely so much that has happened. It's just been incredible. 2 to go. Axe is on the brink, close to another penalty. Bailey, the championship leader, who can just go even further in the championship lead as Sinav has gone off. We apologise to a few of the runners in the mid-pack. We haven't spoke much about you in this race. But my goodness me, and Jared, yes indeed. But 2 to go, and Katra, I don't know what's going to happen.
Oh, I don't know either. My legs shaking, my heart's racing. This is excitement at its finest, and I have never been this excited to see the end of a Grand Prix. Shamrock and Turhan battling for P12. That's outside the points, but Ferrari Nut and Hoopalicious battling for 16th. Both Red Bulls going at it. Is Aiden and Raptor going at it right now? Well, once again, it looks like there's battles up and down the field, but it's all focused on the top 3 because we're about to be on the final lap of the French Grand Prix.
Looks for it on SupplyRaptor, which is 4th position, and again, SupplyRaptor has damages, probably slight damage, and it's hurt his race. Wow, that's definitely a shame for him. As we're on the final lap here in France. It's unbelievable. It's been an unbelievable race. It's been an unbelievable Grand Prix. And we're on the final lap. Anything could still go down here in this one. Axe with the perfect position here at the moment with this race winning position. So it's just been incredible for him. Bailey could get close enough here for a move. But all these guys are pretty much on the same battery life here at the moment. Does Bailey have enough to go for a move here on Krispy? Even though he's got the position done anyway, he will not have enough. I don't think he will mind anyway because he's going to have second in the bag. But wow, what a performance this has been by Axe here in P1.
Yeah, right now he only has one more sector to negotiate and not get a warning. Fast AD, 3-second time penalty. Moo grab one as well. And I'm not sure if you have showed the time penalties up, but
yes,
now I think it's the time. Actually, you do. Congratulations. I was a little bit too far behind on that one.
Well, as Krispy goes wide and Bailey moves up into position number 2, and unless Axe somehow has some figure on these last few corners, he's going to win this one. It has been, I said the soft mediums are the better strategy, and I was proven right. Thank you, Axe. The ACC commentators around the last corner after chaos, a Webber squealing moment, Mitchie almost swearing close. It's Axe winning the French Grand Prix. A superb performance. Bailey, the championship leader, in second, and Cookie will just come home in third in an unbelievable Grand Prix. Maniko gets in the top 5, and that was just unbelievable as SupplyRaptor does come home enough in the top 10, aided P9 after starting on pole. Wowza.
Wow. I'm basically speechless from this Grand Prix. It's been absolutely incredible. From lights to flag, it's been absolutely full of action, full of overtaking, and full of heartbreak. Neymar, by the way, 34 seconds of time penalties. Look, him and Hoop are having a little bit of a battle running down to the start-finish line to end the Grand Prix. Neymar's actually at risk of being disqualified here.
Meanwhile, in another lobby, we've got Ferrari, Nut, Hoop, and Neymar battling out here for 16th, 17th, 18th, 15th. Neymar's got 34 seconds worth of time penalties in what has been a unbelievable Grand Prix. Axe with the win. Championship leader Bailey in second, and Bosscookie in third spot as Neymar goes around, and I've lost my voice pretty much, and that's not good.
Oh, Neymar!
Oh, and
Neymar's around,
Ferrona,
has a little bit of fun.
hold the phone, Freddie. Ferrona with the
Whoa.
fastest lap of the race, and takes the fastest lap point off, well, I think it would have been Aiden or Hunter. But there you go. That was a sensational race, and I've still got 2 commentaries to do today, so folks, wish me luck. But there we go. Krispy with the drive of the day, and that was just, yeah, that was just, yeah, that's all you can say, really. And there you go. And I feel like everybody's just annoying me now by using the F1 2021, throwing the game clips now, throwing the games. Everyone knows I don't like that one. But anyway, Axe with the win. Superb performance by the Mercedes driver. And is this Xbox only? No, we do have PC, Hopper. We do have PC, my friend. But here's the results of what has been, and I don't even know what to say.
It's been one of the, I guess, honestly, arguably one of the best Grand Prix we had so far this season in Tier 1. And, well, the streak somewhat continues. In 8 races, 7 winners. This is a stonker of a season, and it's only been round 8.
Yes, indeed. And that was an absolutely sensational one. There's your top 5, your top leaders, your field, not one DNF. So that was absolutely incredible. As I think, Catcher, we can kick things off. I'm going to exit out of the game so I can go into theater mode.
All right, we'll do that. And I guess I'll sit over to Bosscookie. I would say at this point to include your audio, but your audio is already included. Thank you, Mitchie, for having the easiest job on the planet. Well, now, Cookie, started from P2 in the grid, the front row. You lost 1 position, and, well, P3 ended up in the podium, and it's a crazy race on our end. Walk us through what happened from your end.
Yeah, I think so. I was running like 5-6 wings. I was super fast in the straight, but I think that fucked my tire wear a lot because I was at 89% on the front left at the end, and that's why I fell off so much. But no, that was a good race. I think it had much better pace than P3. It's just I don't think my tire. I should have bumped up my tire pressures because I was like 20% higher than like everyone else around me on wear. But it was fun. Like I said, I think it was kind of a DRS train though. I think if I was more aggressive at defending, I probably would have been a little higher up. But the tire at the end would have made that irrelevant because I was like 2 seconds a lap slower at the end. I think I got lucky with the podium because I know someone got a puncture in the last corner. But yeah, it was a good race. I'm glad to still be in the top few pace-wise after taking a few weeks off.
A few weeks off, but 1 race to show that I mean, from our end, we didn't even, you wouldn't, give me a second, I'll get my brain in order. From our end, we didn't even know you would have taken a weekend off if you just showed up this week. But obviously we did. And, well, I guess, hopefully, you'll be back for next week. Spielberg and the Red Bull Ring. It's going to be the same kind of story there. DRS trains, a lot of penalties. What do you think your chances are in the Red Bull Ring in Austria?
Well, I did pretty good with penalties here. I don't know. I've never actually driven the track on this game like 1 lap, so we'll see. But I've liked that track in the past. If I can podium again, that'll be fun.
Well, hopefully it will be fun. But from us, we congratulate you on that podium. That was a heck of a race.
Thanks.
P2 then, Bailey. That is now another podium. And P2, it could have been the win. 6/10 drift, but. Axe ended up with that penalty. It was very close. He had 1 warning remaining, and well, regardless, that's a very good drive from P4 to P2 on the grid, and that podium once again. Walk us through your race from your end.
Yeah, I think it went good, knowing that I used AlphaTauri setup. But yeah, it was pretty chaotic at the front with like 7 of us in a DRS train, and And then at one point, Neymar taking out Jared, I think. But yeah, it was pretty chaotic with no crashes really. And then I got a penalty, so I choked that, and yeah, that's about it. QBR won too, though, so that's a dub.
Well, let's see how it plays out a week from now, because Austria is now going to be when your sights are being setting on. What do you think your chances are at the Red Bull Ring?
Hopefully I can do better than last season, because stuff happened last season. But yeah, all I have to do is hope for the best again. Hopefully I can stay consistent as usual. Yeah, that's it.
Well, let's have to see, but from us, we congratulate you on that P2 and that podium. Let's see if it rolls on into Austria. Committee then, for Axe.
Yes, Axe, position number 1. Talk us through that. I said the softer beams were the way to go. You proved me right and got the win in the end. Talk us through it.
Well, I'm glad I proved you right then, because otherwise you would have looked pretty dumb at the end. But I know I went for something very different compared to a lot of the field setup-wise, so I'm glad it paid off. I'm very happy to be here. You can't really tell. I'm still letting it sink in, but it's been 2 seasons in Tier 1, and I haven't gotten a single podium. My last time I've had a podium interview in this league was Tier 2 when I went on that 4-race win streak, so it's been a long time. It's been a long time. I'm so happy.
It was such an interesting race being in that long DRS train. Things started to break apart, and then I could see in that early part taking it a bit easy, and then when things started to break apart in that group, you started to move your way up and got up to the front. And then the penalties all happened, and we're talking about you were 1 warning away from another penalty, so it was very close in the end. But just getting there home and getting that race result, and of course, as you said, your first race win in quite a while. In BRL.
Yeah, it's been a while. In BRL, yeah, but even just in other leagues, I really haven't won that much since going no line. So it's awesome for the switch off to be working finally for me. So hopefully more to come. And yeah, just I'm pumped now because I know I could do it. So it's really nice to know.
Absolutely, and next week, Austria, thoughts?
I think I'll be okay because I just spent the last month doing that Challengers esports event,
Oh,
so I'll be all right.
yeah, well,
Back to back, I don't know about that, but
well,
we'll see.
if what happened tonight and happens in Austria, we never know. But congrats on the win, and well done. And I'm sure we'll see you here again on the podium throughout the season. And there's still a long way to go throughout the season, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to our top 3 for joining us. Thank you, Katra. Next week, folks, the Austrian Grand Prix. Who knows what's going to happen there? It's going to be absolute chaos. ACC tomorrow, and then we're back. F2, realistic, and then Tier 4, Tier 3, Tier 3, Tier 4, Tier 2, Tier 1, Austrian Grand Prix. It's a goodbye.